Stand to the right.
Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin? Falling in love.
You may all be seated. We are gathered together on this day to witness and celebrate the marriage of Nick and So-Yoon. We've come together not to mark the start of a relationship, but to acknowledge and strengthen a bond that already exists. This day is made possible not only because of your love for each other, but through the grace and support of your family and friends. It is with love and commitment in your heart that you've decided to come together as husband and wife. As you join together as husband and wife, you create a new bond and a new sense of family. Family will bring a new dynamic to your life in the form of companionship. In life, there have been times of happiness, sadness, victories, and defeats. But because of your love for one another, you won't have to experience those moments alone ever again. So, seeing that no moment is without meaning, we ask that you take this marriage as the beginning of your new lives together. May you be fulfilled by each other's love and friendship. May you be overjoyed by the promises you're about to make and the life together you will continue to create. Remember that in every marriage, there are good times and bad, times of joy and times of sorrow. Marriage is a journey, a time of adventure, excitement, enhanced by the love, trust, dedication, and faith you share in one another. So may the promises you make to one another today be lived out to the very end of your lives. Tomorrow can bring the greatest of joys, but today is the day it all begins. So Nick and So-Yoon, do you, with your family and friends, as your witnesses, present yourselves willingly and of your own accord to be joined in marriage? Will you promise to care for each other in the joys and sorrows of life, come what may, and to share the responsibility of growth and enrichment in your lives together? All right. Well, with that, let's go back to the year 2018. So-Yoon and Nick were able to find each other at a friend's birthday party. Their mutual friend Josh called Nick downstairs to meet So-Yoon. Now keep in mind, Nick was already having a good time drinking at the party. Such a good time, in fact, that he forgot So-Yoon's name upon first meeting her. A month later, Nick got free tickets to the LA Auto Show and immediately invited Josh. Josh's girlfriend was going to tag along and wanted to bring her friend So-Yoon. So feeling that their bro time at the car show was ruined, Nick's opinion quickly changed upon seeing this beautiful woman joining the group. He introduced himself only to find complete embarrassment because So-Yoon was quick to remind him that they had already met. For the remainder of the day, Nick would do his best to memorize everything about her, especially her name. So after that day at the auto show, Nick was in love. So-Yoon, not yet. But they continued to spend time together and got to know each other better. So while on separate trips to Korea during winter break, So-Yoon and Nick met in Seoul. It happened to be So-Yoon's 22nd birthday during the trip. And as a gift, Nick bought So-Yoon a Gundam action figure because he did in fact remember that she liked building them as a kid. So upon returning to Long Beach State, Nick invited So-Yoon over to his apartment so that they could build the action figure together. So-Yoon was skeptical at first, knowing that most boys have other intentions, but was ultimately surprised to find that this boy just wanted to build the action figure. It was that moment together that led to the start of this relationship. Nick and So-Yoon love to spend their time with each other. They enjoy long walks together, visiting parks across California, spending time with their dog Yoshi. They love to bake cookies, So-Yoon likes to bake the cookies and Nick likes to steal the cookie dough. One of their favorite pastimes is to save money, or specifically collect coins in a jar. It takes about a whole year to fill up this jar, and they wait patiently with great anticipation. Once full, they cash all the coins for an amazing night on the town where they dine at one of the finest American restaurants, Chili's. It doesn't matter where they eat or what they do, they just like being with each other. Nick and So-Yoon have truly found their best friend. So over time, the relationship continued to strengthen. So-Yoon loved that Nick is responsible and diligent. She completely trusts him and feels safe with him. And like So-Yoon's mom says, he's reliable like a Prius. So-Yoon and Nick have not discovered love until they had met. And now they teach each other not to think of oneself, but to think of each other as a family. So-Yoon knew Nick was the one when they moved in together and rescued their dog Yoshi. They were aligned with how to raise, care, and teach Yoshi. They lived together through nights of crate training, howling, and picking up all the messes. As a family, they only became stronger. Nick knew that So-Yoon was the one when he took So-Yoon to meet his dad. When the weekend was over and it was time to say goodbye, Nick saw how welcoming his dad was to So-Yoon as he embraced her new family. Nick's dad then pulled him aside and with great wisdom that only a father can provide, told Nick that that's the one, don't lose her. So-Yoon and Nick were ready to call each other husband and wife. So Nick went into planning mode. And to ask such an important question like this, what better place than to do it in Japan? So on a trip to Japan to meet So-Yoon's parents, he knew that he had to ask two questions. One to So-Yoon and the other to her parents. However, So-Yoon's father beat him to it and asked Nick over their first dinner together, when was he going to marry his daughter? And without hesitation, Nick responded by saying, soon. The next morning, Nick met with her parents in secret to ask for So-Yoon's hand in marriage. So at the top of the tallest restaurant in Tokyo, during sunset and overlooking the city lights, So-Yoon was presented with a cake that said, will you marry me? While comprehending what the cake said, So-Yoon looked over and saw Nick with the ring in hand and on one knee. And although So-Yoon was completely surprised in that moment, it had been the question she'd been waiting for. What started as two people meeting at a college party, and then again at the LA Auto Show, has now become what you see before you. A relationship full of love and friendship. Your friendship will help you in your marriage. Together you will experience life in new ways. It is special to find someone you genuinely want to be around, whether it's working together, playing together, or just doing your own separate things. You have both written a beautiful love story, and now that story continues as you enter into marriage. At this time, I'd like to address your friends and your family. You're all here because you share an individual and unique bond with this couple. And it is my hope that you're not just here as spectators, but that you are an active witness to this marriage. As a witness, there may be a day when you have to remind the couple of their commitment and love for each other. So it is your responsibility to love, support, encourage, and when asked, share your wisdom with them. Always speak to them to encourage to turn their hearts to one another. Always speak positively into their marriage, never speaking ill. Be the voice that helps strengthen this couple for a lifetime. Now, So Yoon and Nick, I'd like for you to look at your guests. That is your support system. Know that they are rooting for you and celebrating you. I encourage you to look for counsel from those you trust and from those who have your collective interests at heart. Know that from this day forward, you're not alone as a couple. Okay, are you ready for your vows? All right. Know that there are no vows more meaningful and powerful than those which will be shared here today. Your wedding vows are a sacred declaration of your love for each other, the foundation of your relationship as a married couple, and the life you would like to build together. So Yoon, do you take Nick to be your husband, to live together in the covenant of marriage? Will you love him, comfort him, honor and keep him in sickness and in health, forsaking all others, and be faithful to him as long as you both shall live? Nick, do you take So Yoon to be your wife, to live together in the covenant of marriage? Will you love her, comfort her, honor and keep her in sickness and in health, forsaking all others, and be faithful to her as long as you both shall live? At this time, they're going to share their personal vows.
So it has been nearly 6 years since the day we met. 6 years of laughter, love, and a surprising amount of chocolate. 6 years of joy, adventure, and music from Disney's Frozen. 6 years of watching you sneak desserts into our shopping cart, or letting you sleep in until noon. To say that these 6 years are the best would be an understatement. These 6 years with you are everything to me. Looking back on these years brings a lifetime